So many good things happening on main streets and downtowns across the Magnolia State. So today we're highlighting what's happening downtown this weekend. It is brought to you by the Mississippi Main Street Association. Now don't forget, you can always go to msmainstreet.com/calendar to get more information on upcoming events. And boy, oh boy, there are a lot going on in October. One is coming up this weekend in Brandon. And we got Meredith joining us with the Main Street Association of Brandon. Hey, Meredith.
Hey, Rebecca. Thank you for having me on today.
And congratulations on y'all's new Main Street designation. I know you guys are this is maybe your first or inaugural event. Is that true?
So we have had it. This is our first inaugural Oktoberfest. We've had a few other fundraisers since May, but yes, this is our first year as a Main Street, and it has been a wonderful experience. We've got a very eager volunteer-led board of all Brandonians, and we're committed to quality of life events such as this that are going to bring our community together or continue bringing our community together while also partnering with our existing businesses for continued, economic vitality.
All right, so Oktoberfest, it's going on this weekend from 2 to 6 p.m. in downtown Brandon. Meredith, tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so we are going to be having our restaurants downtown. There's 4 main restaurants that are going to be converting to beer gardens from 2 to 6 p.m. They will each be featuring a couple of different ales that you can taste. They'll have more than enough variety for you to choose from. And they'll also have German-inspired menus that you can order directly from their kitchen, or you can order off their regular menus if you wish. We've got a kids zone going, sponsored by Trust Care Kids. It's so cute. Lots of really fun fall activities. And our favorite German Princess Snow White is refilming her biopic, and she's out of commission until June of 2024. But she is sending her bestie, Belle, and Belle is going to come. We'll have a free movie at 6:30 p.m. Behind the Cleaners by Pizza Shack, and we'll have a showing of Beauty and the Beast. Belle will introduce it. All of our restaurants are going to be having different crafts and activities for your children if they want to come into the beer gardens with you. There's live music. We'll have football on all of the TVs because we know it's a big football weekend. And it's just overall going to be a great sense of community downtown.
Which I think is going to be a really cool addition to, I guess, what everyone's doing. It sounds like there's something for everybody, Meredith. I see that it kicks off at 2, but there may be an event opening at 1. What will be going on of tapping up the keg ceremony? So tell us about that. That should be fun. Who gets to do that?
Yeah, so that's going to be our sponsors and our investors in Brandon Main Street. Southern Beverage and Key City Brewery are providing a special keg that they have brewed just for us, and it is going to be tapped. We'll kind of have a cheers and a prost. That's going to be on the rooftop of the new bank loft that overlook downtown, and then we'll kind of at 2 o'clock move into the beer gardens with all of the live music and the cheers and all the traditional German songs and dancing. It's really, there is something for everyone of every age. If you are not a drinker, you don't need a ticket. You can still come and hang out and participate in just the fun atmosphere.
So is it something that you need to plan to be there from 2 to 6, or is it kind of a come and go thing, Meredith? Can you come and hang out and taste your beer at any sort of time, listen to some music, let the kids have fun for an hour or 2, and then kind of mosey on? Or is it kind of like you need to be committed with your time from 2 to 6 to sort of get it all?
So you can come and go at your leisure. Once you get armbanded, if you need to run, there's a big baseball tournament in Brandon this weekend, so we encourage all of those out-of-town guests to come and experience downtown. If you need to come and be here from 2 to 3 and go watch a game at Shallow Park or the Quarry Park and then come back, that is totally okay as long as you leave your armband on your wrist. We don't encourage drinking and driving, of course, but you can definitely come and go. You can walk over to the kids zone with your kids for a little while, come back. You will get poker chips, and they are color-coded for each restaurant, and that's how they will know when you are there to sample their offerings. So you can taste 2 at a restaurant, sit there for an hour or 2, then get up and move to the next restaurant if you want, or you can stay at one beer garden the entire day. It's totally up to you.
And if you want to stay for the movie, I would say come, midday if that's what you wanted, and that way it sort of flows into rounding out your night with the free movie that you guys are going to have at sunset, which I think is just a really cool touch for the whole families. Where's the best place to park, Meredith? If you're coming from maybe surrounding communities, or you are coming through, you're traveling there for the actual tournament, and maybe you didn't know about this and you're hearing it here on Good Things, where would be a good place to kind of park and then walk to it?
So there are parking lots all around downtown Brandon, off of Dining Street, off of College Street, off of Highway 80, which is right through the downtown corridor. If you search North College Street, there's a few parking lots there that you can walk into the back entrance of Burgers and Blues Barbecue. That's one of our beer gardens. The Cleaners by Pizza Shack has the Bank Plus parking lot next to them that you could park in. And then the Gallows is another beer garden. They have a parking lot in front of Jenna Bena's. You could park there, walk down the hill. And Mudbugs 042 is our fourth beer garden, and they have a parking lot directly in front of them.
All righty, Meredith, where can we go to get all this information?
So I would encourage you to visit our Facebook or Instagram pages. There is a direct link there. We constantly are posting about our event. You can click that link, and it will take you to our software system where you can purchase a ticket. There is a promo code. It's Early Bird Cheers for $5 off tickets, and it is not limited to the number of tickets that you purchase. If you buy 5 tickets, you can enter that promo code 5. It is good through tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m. You just go right to our Facebook page, click the link. When you go to purchase your ticket, put the promo code in, and you'll get a little savings for buying early. We have sold over halfway to our capacity, so we're nearing capacity, and we do expect this event to sell out and be a very large turnout and great time in downtown Brandon on the square this weekend.
All righty, Meredith. Well, congratulations on y'all's Main Street designation, and looking for great weather and a great event this weekend.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All righty. If Oktoberfest is not your thing, you may like beer with your tamales, or tamales with your beer, should I say it that way. I'm sure they'll have both there at the Hot Tamale Festival happening in Greenville. We've got Daniel Boggs joining us to tell us a little bit more. Hey, Daniel.
Hey, how are you?
I'm assuming that there's going to be beer somewhere at the Hot Tamale Festival to enjoy with it.
Yes, we are going to actually have beer in 3 locations. So I don't think that you're going to have to walk far. You're not going to have to walk far at all to get you a beer if you want a good cold beer. And the weather's supposed to be nice. It'll be a good weekend for it.
So what annual is this for the Delta Hot Tamale Festival? Because this is one that folks just flock to every year.
12th annual Hot Tamale Festival, and it's so funny that you say that whenever you say flock to this festival, because we were on the news station this morning reminiscing back to the very first festival in 2012, whenever this was just one block, and we had a small stage, not much bigger than the bed of a pickup truck that Steve Azar and Emerson Hart performed on for us, and, we had about 5,000 people there, and it has just grown and grown and grown and grown. And, now we're getting visitors from all around the world that are coming to celebrate, Delta Hot Tamale Festival, Mississippi Delta culture, and eating great food, drinking some good cold beer, to the tune of about 35,000 people in downtown
Wow.
Greenville. So again, this thing has just evolved, and we're very excited about it. We're very proud of our culture and very glad that we can highlight some of the things that make the Mississippi Delta great, and that's the hot tamales.
So tell us about that. Well, what can we expect? I know there will be great music, obviously great beverages, but the hot tamales is what's getting folks there. Will they be everywhere you turn around?
They will be everywhere we turn around. I think that we have 21 vendors this year, different vendors. And, again, this is what we love to highlight. Again, going back to the conversation that I was having this morning, the tamale making process is really an art. We say it's an art form. We actually had to go back, I think it was like in year 3 or year 4, where we had to define what a hot tamale was because of the competition. And basically all it is it's a filling. And that filling is what's really unique, because that filling, we've seen that be from the traditional beef brisket. We've seen alligator in these tamales. We've seen venison in these tamales. We've seen spinach in these tamales. Chicken, turkey. I mean, there's so many things that you can fill these tamales with. Wrap them in a masa or a dough, and then wrap them either in a banana leaf or a corn husk. So, again, you're not going to find two hot tamales that are just alike. Everybody has their own special touch, their own special seasoning. Whenever we do flavors of the festival, and again, something that came to us, I think probably in year 5, I was walking down the corridor with my father, and I think he'd been there once or twice.
Daniel, hang on that thought. We got to go to a hard break, but we're going to have more coming up next with the Delta Hot Tamale Festival station. But you're going to have to head to Greenville this weekend for the 12th annual Delta Hot Tamale Festival. We're continuing our conversation with Daniel Boggs, who was reminiscing over when it started in the back of your truck with just a few folks, but I would still say, Daniel, 5,000 showing up for the first year is a pretty good stamp of approval that you were on to something. But it's grown every year, and this should be your biggest.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. And again, 5,000 was a great crowd. It was actually more than we were anticipating. But again, that crowd doubled for the first several years. And, it's kind of stabilized now. I mean, obviously it's gotten significantly bigger. But, what we were talking about before we went to break was, we do a tamale tasting every year. And the one that we did this year, it actually sold out almost 2 months ago. And again, it's one of those things that, what we come to find out is 25 to 30% of the people that attend the Delta Hot Tamale Festival have never eaten a hot tamale. So they're fascinated with this food and with this dish. And again, we're very lucky and fortunate to highlight it, as a significant resource or asset to our community.
So, Daniel, when you talk about anybody who's traveled to Greenville or sort of lives there around there, and then thinking about 35,000 folks coming in for the weekend, how do you even begin to prepare for that? How does the city sort of come together and all of its partners, business, private, nonprofit, all of it come together and say, we got to get ready to show that Southern hospitality to a ton of people?
Yeah, the simplest answer is it's eating an elephant. One bite at a time. It takes a lot of coordination, a lot of planning. And I'll be 100% honest with you. After each and every festival, we take about a week to kind of gather up everything, put it back away into storage. And then we sit down and we analyze each aspect of the festival and figure out what worked, what didn't, what can we change, what can we make better. And then we really put it on the back burner because we also administer the Christmas parade for the city. But come January 1, we are back at it full force, dedicated hours every week, lining up the entertainment for the next year's festival, getting the vendors out, looking for the sponsors. And it really is honestly 10, almost 11 hard months of just planning, meeting, having those conversations, having the safety meetings with the police department, and making sure that we are prepared for that crowd when they do come in.
So when we do come in, because I encourage everybody, it should be a beautiful weekend there in the Delta here in Mississippi. Get out and do something different if you've never been. Some of you are like, I already plan my weekend that we go every year. But how do you plan this weekend? I mean, where can you still stay? Can you still get hotels, Daniel? Or is it like stay nearby and then drive in? How would you tell someone listening to Good Things about planning their trip to Greenville this weekend?
So I think there was a post last week from the True and from the Hampton, which are located on the south side of Greenville, that said they still had a handful of rooms left. We do have a significant amount of people that do stay in Cleveland and Indianola. We even have some from Vicksburg, if they're coming from far enough away, who will get a hotel room and just drive in that day. I can go ahead and tell you, our nonprofit organization, we ventured out a couple of years ago when we bought a boutique hotel in downtown Greenville. One of our missions is downtown revitalization, and net proceeds of the Delta Hot Tamale Festival help us fulfill that. But we actually bought a 36-room boutique hotel. It's called Hotel 27. And I can tell you right now we have 4 rooms left for 2024.
Wow!
Yeah.
That's a great problem to have.
It's a great problem to have. So, people, but it's right in the middle of the festival. It's a great location. You can go have some tamales for breakfast, listen to some music, go home, go back to the hotel room, take a nap, get back up that afternoon. So it's right there in the mix. It's right there in the very middle of everything. But yeah, I'd probably say about 3 months ago, we started getting reservations for 2024.
That's incredible. And that's just sort of a wake-up call to those listening, though, too, Daniel, to Good Things, saying, hey, if you've never been to this, and myself included, I would be one that would be included in that, then you're missing out. You're missing out on something that's probably unique and super special to Mississippi that other folks have figured out is a gem, and you're within driving distance. So shame on us for not at least going once and seeing what the fuss is all about, and especially with it getting bigger and better every year. You mentioned music. What's sort of the lineup? I know you said our friend Steve Azar was probably that first year. What's kind of the genre, or do you cover it all now with the festival?
We do. And again, what we try to do is we do try to stay true to a theme. So, we try to highlight the country, the bluegrass, music, the blues, obviously being in the Mississippi Delta. So we do try to stay with a theme with everything that's being, created around this festival. We have up-and-coming artists. That's kind of our niche. We're kind of known. We've actually had 20 businesses that have been created out of this Hot Tamale Festival. They come, they try tamales as an amateur, and they actually will end up winning grand champion and opening a business and thrive in that. So, again, we kind of get the up-and-comings. We're thankful to do that, and hopefully get them before they get their big break and get a break on their fees as well. But this year, Friday night, Chase Matthew, who is an up-and-coming artist in the country world, is going to be playing Friday night on the main stage on the end of Washington Avenue. And then the next night, our headliner is Chase Beckham, which has a song out right now called 23, and it's climbing the charts as well. But again, we have a lot of great local acts. The Muddy Waters nephew is going to be playing. John Horton is going to be playing, who's a really well-known blues musician here. A lot of good local acts, but a lot of regional acts, and even, a sprinkle of national acts. So we try to provide something for everybody. We have 2 stages for music, and we always tell everybody, if you're not a fan of this music, go to the other stage. You'll love what's on it as well. So we really do try to create something for everybody, even the kids.
Even the kids. Daniel, I also saw where you will be adding to, or Greenville will be adding to their Writers Trail and unveiling one for Julia Reed. Do you know, I'm sure you do, but can you speak to what will be going on then?
Yeah, so Julia was in that crowd of 5,000 that first year. And Julia is a native, and we're very fortunate. Greenville has a long history of really well-known individuals. But Julia was in that group of 5,000, and after that first Hot Tamale Festival, she came in and said, you know what, I feel like we have a lot more to offer. And Julia then created the Literary Culinary Panel, which also highlighted culinary arts, but also literature, with her being a writer. And she started the panel discussion. We actually still do that. We've slimmed it down a little bit, but we still actually highlight the food and the artist and the literature, literary accomplishments of Mississippi Delta. But we lost Julia, right after COVID. And again, she was a big part. Whenever she came on board, she was a contributing writer for Gardening Guide magazine. I give Julia a lot of credit for really putting the Hot Tamale Festival on the platform that it is, and exposing us to the world, because she did have that opportunity to do that. And I think we've grown to this size in large part because of Julia. But yeah, we lost her, right after COVID. So we are unveiling her writer's marker in front of the Weatherby House, which she actually purchased prior to COVID. She was going to open up a bookstore there. But it would just kind of highlight her life, her accomplishments, her literary accomplishments, and then also what she did for Greenville.
So much good things going on. We had the pleasure of having her as a guest on Good Things one time, and she was a quintessential Southern lady with a good sense of humor. That's what
Yeah, she's a hoot. That's the only way I could describe it. She is an absolute hoot. So fun to be around.
And I'm glad that she'll get her honor there at the Delta Hot Tamale Festival as well. And I guess she'll have there'll be the marker there. So anybody traveling to Greenville will be able to get to recognize her work and her contribution to not only the festival, but also to the city. All right. Anything that we missed, Daniel? I feel very left out that I wasn't aware of how great this weekend was going to be or can be. And there's still plenty of time for folks to make their trips, plan their trip to Greenville. But what else you want folks to know, or where can they get the information?
There's so much with this festival. And again, we probably are leaving some things out, but we have covered a good bit of that. But if you want more information, I would encourage you to go to our website, mainstreetgreenville.com. Once again, mainstreetgreenville.com. And there is a tab that says Delta Hot Tamale Festivals. And under that, we have all things tamale that will give you the full lineup, the full events, the full ticketed events. So if you need all the details, every last one of them, go to that website and see what's happening this weekend. We would love to see you all here.
All righty. Well, you'll see me one year, Daniel. I promise. Putting it on my Mississippi bucket list to make it to the Delta Hot Tamale Festival. And you got to plan far in advance if you want a hotel, I guess, in the mix of it. So go ahead and put that on your calendar. I appreciate your time, Daniel.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
All righty. You guys stick with us. We got a few more good things for you coming up next.